If your penis doesn't get as hard as it reliably did before, if you feel constantly tired even after what should be sufficient rest, if you find yourself avoiding intimacy not by any conscious choice, but simply because your body won't cooperate, then please listen up very closely right now. It might not be simply inevitable age catching up with you. It could be something much simpler and fixable, a straightforward shortage of just 3 absolutely key vitamins that your body is quietly begging for. I'm Dr. Lucy Stone, a dedicated men's health expert with well over 30-plus years of clinical experience, specifically focused on helping men over 60 successfully reclaim vibrant energy, physical strength, and sexual confidence they truly thought they'd lost forever, resigned to a diminished state. Most conventional doctors simply won't say this crucial fact out loud, but the hard truth is this: many older men don't lack desire. What they lack is optimal blood flow, endurance, and balanced hormones. The real fix isn't found inside a prescription pill bottle at all. It's quite literally right there on your plate in the nutrients you consume daily. Drop a comment below and let me know which country or city you're watching from. Today, I'll show you exactly which 3 essential vitamins every man over 60 should be taking, and how they help restore firm erections, boost testosterone naturally, and bring your energy back to life. I'll also reveal the single most dangerous mistake men make when taking these vitamins. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for health tips designed for men over 60. If this message resonates with your struggles, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Let's start with the most overlooked key to restoring blood flow and natural erections in men over 60. I'm talking about vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, the absolute bedrock for getting your strength and confidence back. 1. Vitamin D, the circulation spark plug. I still vividly remember the very first time I sat across from a wonderfully sharp 67-year-old gentleman named Paul. He was intelligent, clearly thoughtful, and yet deeply, palpably frustrated when he leaned forward and confessed quietly, "Doc, I still desperately want to be close to my wife, I truly do, but my body just stubbornly won't cooperate anymore, no matter how much I wish it would." That quiet, heartfelt confession, laden with disappointment, is one I've heard echoed, word for word, from literally hundreds upon hundreds of men over the many years in my practice. And more often than not, overwhelmingly so, the crucial starting point to getting that vital spark back isn't some exotic, expensive miracle drug peddled with grand promises. It's remarkably fundamentally ensuring adequate levels of simple vitamin D. Vitamin D remains one of the most profoundly underestimated and undervalued nutrients when it comes specifically to men's health after crossing the 60-year threshold. We tend to lazily think of it as just something you passively get from the sun on a bright day, or something primarily kids need for building strong bones during growth spurts. But in stark reality, vitamin D plays a direct, powerful, non-negotiable role in core male performance metrics. It's the very biochemical switch, the essential trigger that actively helps your blood vessels relax, open up significantly, and efficiently deliver that precious, oxygen-rich blood vigorously throughout your entire body, crucially including, of course, to those very areas that fundamentally define your masculinity and virility. Without sufficient levels coursing through your system, circulation inevitably slows to a sluggish crawl, energy levels plummet frustratingly low, and intimacy transforms from a joyful connection into a difficult, often avoided chore than it ever needs to be. Stealing joy. Shockingly, studies consistently show well over 40% of otherwise healthy older adults are significantly deficient in vitamin D. I'm talking about good, active men, men who still exercise reasonably regularly, men who eat what they consider a decently balanced diet, and yet still find themselves constantly asking the bewildered question, why on earth don't I feel quite like my old self anymore? Where did that vitality go? The critical biological link is this. When your vitamin D levels plummet too low, your body consequently produces far less nitric oxide, a tiny but absolutely essential signaling molecule utterly critical for facilitating healthy blood flow and enabling reliable sexual performance. It's not just narrowly about sex, gentlemen. It's fundamentally about your overall stamina, your mental clarity and sharpness, and that deep-seated sense of confidence that permeates everything you do. The genuinely good news, the uplifting part, is that fixing this common deficiency doesn't require complicated, burdensome medical procedures or radical lifestyle overhauls. Simple, consistent actions like getting 15 to 20 minutes of gentle morning sunlight exposure most days, consciously eating more fatty fish like delicious salmon or tuna, incorporating fortified dairy products, and crucially, supplementing wisely with a high-quality, readily absorbable vitamin D3 formulation can radically, positively shift how your entire body performs and feels on a daily basis. I've personally witnessed countless patients in my clinic who could barely muster the energy to finish a slow walk around the block suddenly feel genuinely re-energized, revitalized, and profoundly reconnected to their partners in ways they feared were lost forever. This isn't mere hopeful theory or anecdotal fluff. This is solid, evidence-based biochemistry at work, and it represents one of the simplest, most accessible ways to actively reclaim your inherent strength and vitality. But, and this is a significant but, as undeniably powerful and foundational as vitamin D genuinely is, it can realistically only take your health journey so far on its own merit. Because even if your blood is finally flowing reasonably well thanks to optimized D levels, your body still critically needs the fundamental cellular energy, the raw metabolic power, to effectively move that blood, sustain that improved circulation consistently, and dynamically turn that enhanced flow into tangible, usable action and endurance throughout your demanding day. That's precisely where our second absolutely indispensable vitamin decisively steps into the spotlight. And if you've ever felt inexplicably tired, drained for seemingly no good reason at all, it might very well be the essential key to unlocking the sustainable energy you've been desperately missing deep down. Let's talk about that critical player right now. 2. Vitamin B12, the cellular energy generator. A few meaningful years ago, I distinctly recall a patient named Robert coming into my office. He was a robust 72, a retired firefighter, understandably proud of his past strength and a deeply loving grandfather. But beneath his still strong exterior, he looked visibly worn out, fatigued in a way that sleep couldn't touch. He confided in me, his voice tinged with frustration. "Doc, I sleep a solid 8 hours most nights. I eat my regular meals pretty faithfully, but I still feel like I'm constantly dragging myself through each day weighed down. My brain feels perpetually foggy, thick like molasses. My body feels heavy and perpetually tired, bone tired. And frankly, when it comes time to be close, truly intimate with my dear wife, I just frustratingly don't seem to have it in me anymore. The spark is dim." His poignant story stuck firmly with me because it was heartbreakingly common and yet so easily missed or dismissed by less attentive practitioners. What Robert was describing, in textbook fashion, was the classic presentation of a significant vitamin B12 deficiency, something I encounter distressingly often in countless men navigating life well past 60. This specific vitamin, B12, is utterly crucial, non-negotiable to your body's core energy production machinery at the cellular level. Without adequate supplies readily available, your body simply cannot properly convert the food you diligently eat into the usable, accessible energy currency, called ATP, that powers every single cell, every thought, every movement, no matter how well you believe you eat or how much sleep you conscientiously get. Running on empty metabolically is the inevitable result. Furthermore, it also plays a pivotal, indispensable role in the healthy formation of oxygen-carrying red blood cells. When those vital cells are lacking in number or compromised in function, absolutely everything in your system slows down frustratingly. Your physical stamina fades noticeably, your mental focus and concentration dulls significantly, and you may start feeling strangely disconnected from the very activities, passions, and people that used to genuinely excite and invigorate you. A profound loss. And here's the insidious catch, the hidden challenge. As you naturally age, your stomach's ability to produce intrinsic factor and consequently absorb precious B12 efficiently from the food you eat declines markedly, even if you're still regularly consuming good sources like meat, eggs, or dairy. It physically might not be enough anymore due to this absorption bottleneck. That's precisely why so many otherwise healthy older men feel persistently tired, inexplicably weak, or mentally foggy, even when all their standard, basic health markers look deceptively fine on a routine blood test report, leaving them confused and discouraged. The solution, however, can be surprisingly straightforward and profoundly effective. consciously increasing bioavailable B12 levels through consistent, high-quality supplementation, specifically the methylcobalamin form, or in more severe deficiency cases, through periodic doctor-administered injections, can dramatically, noticeably restore mental clarity, rebuild physical stamina and endurance, and revive that essential sense of being fully awake, alert, and engaged in your own life once more. I've witnessed firsthand men transform from dozing off helplessly in their favorite armchair mid-afternoon to actively hiking trails, laughing heartily with friends, and being fully, vibrantly present with their cherished loved ones, all stemming directly from the simple act of correcting a fundamental B12 deficiency they never even knew was stealthily sapping their vitality. But sustainable energy and mental clarity, as vital as they are, aren't the entire picture for holistic male health over 60. Your precious body also critically needs robust protection, something that actively strengthens delicate blood vessel walls, effectively reduces chronic low-grade inflammation damaging tissues systemically, and directly supports the very hormones, like testosterone, that intrinsically define masculinity and drive. That's precisely where the third absolutely essential vitamin decisively enters the equation. It's often simplistically called the fertility vitamin in outdated texts, but its true impact and necessity reach far, far beyond just reproduction. In sobering fact, without sufficient levels vigilantly maintained, your testosterone production and overall circulation health may already be quietly, steadily slipping away from optimal. Let's take a much closer, more appreciative look right now. 3. Vitamin E, the Vitality and Vascular Defender. I clearly remember speaking with James, a distinguished 70-year-old retired airline pilot, who came into my clinic looking genuinely frustrated and deeply confused despite his disciplined demeanor. He told me earnestly, "Doc, I eat well, really I do. Plenty of veggies, lean proteins, the whole bit. I exercise faithfully several times a week. Honestly, I feel like I'm doing nearly everything right that the experts say, but lately I just feel off. My drive is noticeably down. I'm not bouncing back from exertion or minor illnesses the way I confidently used to. And honestly, deep down, I just don't quite feel like the strong, capable man I know I am anymore." That candid admission hit me hard emotionally because James wasn't being lazy or careless in the slightest. He was remarkably disciplined, justifiably proud of his lifelong habits, and genuinely committed to safeguarding his health proactively. Yet he was missing something crucial. Something that even most well-intentioned doctors rarely emphasize or adequately discuss in routine checkups for men his age: sufficient, bioavailable vitamin E. Vitamin E isn't merely a niche fertility aid mentioned in passing, or a superficial skin health supplement advertised in glossy magazines. It's a genuine cellular powerhouse, a potent defender, when it comes to comprehensive male health, especially critically after 60. This vital nutrient is a potent natural antioxidant, meaning it actively seeks out and neutralizes harmful free radicals, effectively fighting off the pervasive oxidative stress and chronic low-grade inflammation that silently, cumulatively damage your precious blood vessel linings, disrupt delicate hormone balances, especially testosterone, and impair reproductive organ function over the long haul as you age. When this damaging inflammation continuously builds unchecked, robust blood flow inevitably weakens. Crucial testosterone levels often dip lower than ideal, and sustainable energy levels can crash unpredictably. It's not usually an instant, dramatic failure, but rather a constant, slow erosion, a gradual dimming, and without realizing it consciously, strong, capable men slowly begin losing their essential edge, their vitality seeping away. What makes natural vitamin E so profoundly important for mature men is its unique ability to help keep your blood vessels flexible, supple, and resilient, thereby maintaining strong, reliable circulation, a non-negotiable foundation since erections aren't just about psychological arousal. They're fundamentally, mechanically, about efficient, pressurized blood flow reaching the right places dependably. And when that vital flow is impeded due to stiff or damaged vessels, performance inevitably suffers frustratingly. But that crucial vascular support is truly not all this vitamin offers. Compelling research also indicates vitamin E actively helps your body produce and utilize testosterone more efficiently and effectively. And after 60, maintaining healthy testosterone levels is absolutely more critical than ever for overall well-being, far beyond the bedroom. Low testosterone doesn't just negatively affect sexual function. It profoundly impacts your foundational mood stability, your core motivation levels, your sense of purpose and drive, and your overall zest for engaging fully with life. The genuinely good news, the empowering part, is that restoring optimal vitamin E status is typically quite easy and naturally achievable through conscious dietary choices. Delicious almonds, nutrient-packed sunflower seeds, high-quality extra virgin olive oil drizzled generously, and dark leafy greens like robust spinach or flavorful Swiss chard are all fantastic, tasty sources readily incorporated into daily meals. Or if dietary intake proves challenging or insufficient, a high-quality natural vitamin E supplement, look for mixed tocopherols, ideally, can effectively help bridge the gap securely. I've been privileged to see men return for follow-ups months later, often with a renewed smile, genuinely feeling perceptibly sharper mentally, physically stronger in their movements, and more deeply, authentically connected to their lives and relationships again. A wonderful transformation. Now, at this point, you might very well be wondering with growing interest, what truly happens when you strategically combine these three powerhouse vitamins together consistently? Is there a demonstrable way they actively work in concert, synergistically, to powerfully amplify results far beyond what each could achieve alone? The resounding answer, based on clinical observation and biochemical understanding, is a definitive yes. In fact, when utilized correctly and consistently, these three fundamental nutrients can create a powerful, positive ripple effect throughout your system that transforms not just isolated aspects like sporadic energy or unreliable erections, but potentially your entire lived experience of aging, infusing it with renewed vigor. Years ago, I distinctly recall a patient named Walter, a spirited 68-year-old retired high school coach who had always justifiably prided himself fiercely on staying remarkably active and mentally sharp well into his later years. He'd proactively been taking a vitamin D supplement for quite a while based on some general advice, then later thoughtfully added a B12 complex after persistently feeling unusually tired despite his activity, and finally, upon my specific explanation of its broad benefits, started conscientiously including a natural vitamin E supplement into his daily regimen. However, it notably wasn't until he began diligently taking all three consistently, reliably, and crucially in the scientifically appropriate amounts tailored to his needs, that something truly remarkable seemed to click biologically for him. I vividly remember him striding into my office one bright afternoon, positively grinning ear to ear with palpable relief and excitement, declaring loudly, "Doc, I honestly don't know precisely what magic you worked, but I feel like I've somehow gotten a brand new engine installed under the hood. It's incredible." That, gentlemen, is the undeniable, potent power of true nutritional synergy in action. These vitamins don't just operate independently in isolated little silos within your complex body. They actively support, enhance, and powerfully amplify each other's beneficial effects in a beautifully coordinated cascade. Imagine it. Vitamin D lays the essential groundwork by significantly improving overall circulation efficiency, primarily by boosting the critical production and availability of nitric oxide, the key vasodilator. Vitamin B12 then builds powerfully upon that improved circulatory capacity by substantially increasing healthy red blood cell production and optimizing their oxygen-carrying capacity, thereby ensuring that life-giving oxygen travels abundantly and efficiently through that newly enhanced vascular network. Then, completing this powerful trio, vitamin E steps in as the vital protector and nourisher, actively shielding and strengthening the very blood vessel walls that carry this improved circulation everywhere it's needed, while simultaneously playing a crucial supporting role in helping regulate and sustain the testosterone levels that fundamentally fuel your core energy, drive, and restorative capabilities. Alone, undeniably, each one plays its own significant, valuable role in maintaining health, but strategically together, they dynamically create what I've come to clinically term the vitality triangle, a robust, interlocking foundation of optimized circulation, sustainable cellular energy generation, and balanced hormonal support, all working seamlessly in harmony to elevate your whole being. This synergistic effect becomes especially critically important as you navigate the years beyond 60 because, quite frankly, your body simply doesn't bounce back from stresses, deficiencies, or insults with the effortless resilience it once possessed in younger decades. Nutrient absorption efficiency naturally slows down significantly. Chronic inflammation tends to build more easily and persist stubbornly. Recovery from exertion or illness takes frustratingly longer, and frustratingly, just one persistently missing biochemical piece can subtly but significantly throw the entire intricate system frustratingly off kilter. However, when you consciously bring these three foundational nutrients together consistently, in the right forms and doses, fostering balance, your body gratefully starts to remember how it optimally used to feel, function, and thrive. You may find yourself waking up feeling genuinely more rested and refreshed, noticing clearer, sharper thoughts effortlessly flowing throughout your demanding day, responding faster and more reliably both physically and mentally when it truly counts, and perhaps most rewarding of all, experiencing a quiet, resurgent sense of innate confidence returning. That deep inner knowing of capability and presence. And that, gentlemen, is something profoundly valuable that no prescription medication can authentically manufacture or replicate. Walter's uplifting experience was certainly heartening, but crucially, he wasn't some rare, miraculous exception. I've personally witnessed strikingly similar, positive transformations unfold in countless men who finally take these fundamental nutrients seriously, understanding their synergy, and diligently build them into their non-negotiable daily routine as pillars of proactive health. But here's the sobering, frustrating reality check. Tragically, most men striving for better health never actually experience these substantial life-enhancing benefits, despite often spending considerable money on supplements. Why? Because they're frequently, unknowingly making one extremely common yet entirely avoidable mistake that effectively cancels out the very progress they're earnestly trying so hard to make, wasting effort and hope. And if you're not consciously careful and informed, you might very well be doing this exact same thing too right now, undermining your own goals. Let's immediately talk about what that critical, widespread mistake specifically is, and most importantly, exactly how you can easily fix it starting today. One rather typical morning, a pleasant gentleman named Gerald, aged 74, walked thoughtfully into my consultation room holding a large, overflowing plastic grocery bag, positively brimming with various supplement bottles. He was clearly intelligent, well-read on health topics, and demonstrably trying his absolute best to take firm control of his declining well-being. He proceeded to carefully spread out all the numerous bottles across my desk, like a pharmacist's inventory, and said with palpable disappointment in his voice, "Doc, I've been faithfully taking all of these different things for months now, religiously following the labels, but I still feel persistently tired, mentally foggy like my head's full of cotton wool, and honestly, frustratingly, nothing tangible seems to be improving down there either. It's disheartening." The single biggest, most counterproductive mistake men commonly make, especially those actively managing health over 60, is assuming rather naively that just taking some supplements, any supplements, is automatically sufficient. They often buy the cheapest, generic synthetic versions available from discount stores or dubious online sellers, mistakenly thinking simplistically that all vitamins are basically created equal, but the hard truth is they absolutely, fundamentally are not. The specific form, the verifiable quality, the precise dosage, and crucially, the bioavailability of a vitamin supplement decisively determine whether your body can actually absorb, utilize, and benefit from it effectively, or whether it just gets passively flushed away as expensive, useless urine, accomplishing nothing meaningful. Take vitamin B12 as a prime critical example. Most generic economy-priced brands utilize a vastly cheaper, poorly utilized form called cyanocobalamin, which a significant portion of older men simply cannot properly metabolize and convert into the active, usable form their cells desperately need due to common age-related enzymatic slowdowns. What you genuinely want and need instead is methylcobalamin, the pre-activated bioavailable form your body's cells can actually immediately utilize without inefficient conversion steps. The exact same crucial principle applies critically to vitamin D. The cheaper D2 form, ergocalciferol, is far less effective at raising and sustaining optimal blood levels than the superior, naturally occurring D3 form, cholecalciferol, which mimics what your skin produces from sunlight. And concerning vitamin E, synthetic forms, often labeled DL-alpha tocopherol, frequently lack the complete spectrum of beneficial tocopherols and tocotrienols naturally found in food sources, potentially diminishing its full protective and testosterone supportive effects your body requires for comprehensive benefit. Another pervasive, equally damaging mistake is simple inconsistency. Haphazardly taking a vitamin only once or twice a week whenever you sporadically remember it lying in the cupboard. This erratic approach simply isn't going to create the lasting, foundational change your aging physiology demands. Your body fundamentally thrives on rhythm, predictability. It needs steady, reliable, daily nutritional support to systematically rebuild depleted energy reserves, restore compromised blood flow efficiency, and rebalance delicate hormones gradually over time. When Gerald, guided by our discussion, conscientiously made the crucial switch to higher quality, bioavailable forms methylcobalamin B12, D3 cholecalciferol, and natural mixed tocopherols E, and committed to taking them consistently, every single day without fail, the difference he reported was nothing short of dramatic and deeply gratifying. Within just 1 month, he excitedly told me he was sleeping far more soundly through the night, waking up feeling noticeably more refreshed and energized intrinsically, and, in his own heartfelt words, finally feeling like a real man again, confident and capable. That profound positive change didn't miraculously materialize from him simply trying harder or buying more bottles. It came directly, logically, from finally doing it right, understanding and respecting the critical importance of bioavailability and unwavering consistency. Now that you clearly know what demonstrably works and precisely what common pitfalls to diligently avoid, the empowering next step is putting this invaluable knowledge cohesively into daily practice in your own life. You might reasonably be wondering, okay, this makes sense, but how do I actually practically make this an effortless part of my existing daily routine without it becoming yet another complicated, burdensome chore? That's exactly what we'll cover next, crafting a simple, realistic, sustainable routine practically any man can seamlessly follow to actively support robust energy, reliable performance, and enduring vitality every single day, step by manageable step. Let's collaboratively build your personalized, actionable plan starting right now. 6. Your simple, sustainable daily vitality routine. Making it work effortlessly. When I work closely with older men proactively seeking to regain their vitality, one of the very first things they typically ask me, often with a palpable mix of hopeful anticipation and understandable hesitation, is something like, "Doc, just please tell me plainly what to do each day. I honestly don't need complicated theories or exhaustive lists. I just desperately need something straightforward, practical, and proven that genuinely works within my real life." That's a question I deeply respect and prioritize because, let's face it, at this richly experienced stage of life, most men aren't actively looking for fleeting health fads, gimmicky promises, or radical overnight transformations. They wisely want sustainable consistency, achievable simplicity, a clear, manageable plan that tangibly helps them feel reliably strong, capable, and authentically themselves again day after rewarding day. So allow me to illustrate this perfectly by sharing Frank's story, a capable 66-year-old former carpenter who first came to my clinic after struggling silently for months with frustratingly low energy, persistently poor sleep quality, and a quietly fading sense of confidence in the bedroom, impacting his relationship. Importantly, we didn't attempt a complete, overwhelming overhaul of his entire life or habits. Instead, we strategically built a basic yet remarkably powerful daily routine centrally around optimizing the very 3 vitamins we've been thoroughly discussing: D, B12, and E, integrating them smoothly into his existing rhythm, and the positive change it catalyzed was truly transformative for him. Here's the simple, effective structure Frank followed diligently. Each morning, immediately upon waking, Frank would start his day decisively by drinking a full, refreshing glass of water to gently rehydrate his system after sleep, followed promptly by taking his high-quality methylcobalamin B12 supplement alongside a solid, protein-rich breakfast, like eggs or Greek yogurt, to enhance absorption right from the start. Shortly after finishing breakfast, he'd make a point to take a brief, invigorating walk outdoors, ideally for just 15 minutes or so, consciously soaking up the gentle morning sunlight to help naturally stimulate his body's own vitamin D production pathway. A free, enjoyable boost. Realistically, if the weather was persistently cloudy, rainy, or during the deep winter months when sunlight is weak, he would reliably use a potent, high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, taken with that first meal containing some healthy fat for optimal uptake. To effortlessly cover his vitamin E needs naturally, he'd simply incorporate a small, satisfying handful of raw almonds or tasty sunflower seeds as a mid-morning snack, or perhaps add a generous, flavorful drizzle of heart-healthy extra virgin olive oil over his lunchtime salad or vegetables. That, remarkably, was essentially the core of his nutritional upgrade. No extreme measures, no confusing stacks of a dozen pills, just small, deliberate, highly manageable choices integrated mindfully into his existing day. Within just a few consistent weeks, Frank reported back with noticeable enthusiasm. He had substantially more sustainable energy to actively play with his beloved grandkids without crashing afterwards. A renewed, natural interest in being spontaneously close and affectionate with his wife emerged organically, and perhaps most rewarding of all, a quiet but profound sense of grounded confidence. The kind that had subtly, almost imperceptibly, slipped away over the preceding years, had steadily returned, making him feel authentically like himself again. Not a strained imitation of his younger self, but a stronger, more resilient, more present version of the experienced man he truly was and deserved to feel like. The fundamental truth, gentlemen, is this. You categorically do not need a bewildering array of dozens of expensive pills, complicated dosing schedules, or radical, unsustainable lifestyle overhauls to make a profound difference. What you genuinely need is a steady, reliable rhythm you can maintain effortlessly. The right foundational nutrients consistently delivered in the right bioavailable forms. Your aging body can actually utilize effectively and, crucially, cultivating a proactive mindset that firmly declares, I'm still firmly in the driver's seat of my health journey, and I choose vitality. Because you absolutely, unequivocally are still in control, and you can positively influence how you feel and function. Now, as we gently begin to wrap up this crucial discussion, I want sincerely to leave you with one final, deeply important message. Something I firmly believe every single man navigating life beyond 60 fundamentally needs to hear clearly, but so rarely does, amidst the noise of daily life and dismissive ageism. If you've ever privately wondered, perhaps with a tinge of sadness or resignation, whether it might somehow be too late for you to feel genuinely strong, deeply desired, and fully, vibrantly alive in your own skin again, the resounding evidence-based answer might genuinely surprise and profoundly uplift you. Let's talk candidly about that essential, hopeful reality right now, heart to heart. If you've attentively made it this far through this detailed discussion, I sincerely want to take a meaningful moment to speak directly to you, not merely as Dr. Lucy Stone, the clinician, but as a compassionate human being who has dedicated over 30 deeply rewarding years sitting patiently across the consultation room from countless men remarkably just like you. Men who've courageously lived full complex lives, men who've worked incredibly hard providing for families, men who've lovingly raised children, built enduring legacies in their communities, and navigated life's inevitable storms with resilience. Men who now, understandably, sometimes find themselves quietly asking that vulnerable, honest question, why doesn't my body feel or respond quite like it robustly used to? Where did that dependable strength go? That poignant question, gentlemen, is categorically not a sign of weakness, failure, or surrender. It is, rather, a powerful testament, a clear sign that you're still actively fighting for quality of life, still earnestly searching for the enduring strength, the sustainable energy, and the deep, meaningful connection that intrinsically make life feel rich, purposeful, and worth fully embracing. And that persistent spirit is something I profoundly respect and honor deeply in each of you. We've thoroughly covered the science and practical application of 3 essential vitamins pivotal for men over 60. Vitamin D, acting as your essential circulation spark plug, actively helping open blood vessels efficiently and restore crucial blood flow precisely where it matters most for vitality and performance. Vitamin B12, serving as your fundamental cellular energy generator, diligently fueling your demanding brain, your working muscles, and your foundational stamina reserves. And vitamin E, functioning as your vital vascular and hormonal defender, protecting delicate blood vessels, supporting healthy testosterone balance, and keeping your entire system running smoothly and resiliently, like the intricate machine it fundamentally is. But the real transformative power doesn't magically come just from memorizing their names or nodding in intellectual agreement. It comes exclusively from action, from conscientiously, consistently building these crucial nutrients into the very fabric of your daily life, making them non-negotiable pillars of your proactive health strategy, just like brushing your teeth. The profound, often life-altering truth is this: these foundational nutrients don't just passively support isolated bodily functions. They actively, powerfully support your core identity, your hard-earned confidence, your essential presence within your cherished relationships, and your fundamental ability to wake up each morning feeling authentically like yourself again, capable, engaged, and ready to embrace the day's possibilities. I've witnessed this positive shift unfold firsthand far too many times in my career to ever doubt its possibility. I've watched strong men who were utterly convinced, resigned even, that their best, most vibrant years were irretrievably behind them, unexpectedly discover a potent second wind, a renewed lease on vitality that tangibly changed their daily experience of aging for the profoundly better. So, what decisive action comes next? What step do you take from this moment forward? That empowering choice, gentlemen, rests entirely, meaningfully with you. You can passively take what you've learned here today and let it merely sit, gathering dust mentally on a proverbial shelf of good intentions, alongside other forgotten resolutions. Or you can consciously choose to courageously act on this knowledge today. You can deliberately choose to finally give your resilient body precisely what it's been quietly, persistently begging you for, perhaps for months or even years. You can make that conscious decision to prioritize that revitalizing morning walk tomorrow without fail. Take those high-quality supplements with clear intention and understanding starting at your very next meal, actively say a firm yes to investing in your ongoing health, and consequently, a resounding yes to your own vibrant future unfolding. Because here's what my decades of dedicated clinical experience have taught me without a shadow of doubt. It is categorically not too late for you, not even remotely close. You absolutely still have ample time to feel tangibly stronger in your body and spirit. You still have meaningful time to reconnect intimately and joyfully with your partner. You still have precious time to be fully and unapologetically the capable, experienced man you intrinsically know yourself to be. You've already taken the vital first courageous step simply by showing up here today, seeking knowledge. Now it's decisively time to take the empowering next step. The step of committed action tailored to your life. If this discussion spoke meaningfully to you, genuinely helped clarify your situation, or gave you tangible hope and something valuable to consider implementing, please don't passively keep this vital information quietly to yourself. Go ahead and actively hit that like button below right now, so we collectively know this content is truly making a meaningful difference where it counts. Thoughtfully share it with a trusted friend, a concerned brother, or anyone else you genuinely care about who might deeply need to hear this empowering message of practical hope. And if you possibly have a spare moment, please leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. Let me know what specific point resonated most powerfully with you personally, or honestly, tell me what other crucial health topic you'd really like me to cover in depth next time. Your authentic voice actively helps shape this essential space into what serves you best. Furthermore, if you feel moved to actively support this channel and its mission to create even more high-quality, evidence-based content specifically for men over 60 navigating these complex health challenges, please consider making a small, voluntary donation. Every single contribution, however modest, genuinely helps fund better research, significantly improve our video production quality for clarity, and crucially, reach many more deserving men who urgently need this practical information, but might otherwise never find it. You're not just a passive viewer here. You're becoming a valued part of a vital movement towards empowered male health, and I'm sincerely, deeply grateful to have you joining us in this important work. Before you go, please take just a second to tell me in the comments below. Where are you tuning in from right now? Your specific city? Your country? I personally read every single comment and location shared, and it genuinely means a great deal to me to connect with you meaningfully across the miles. Don't forget to conscientiously hit like if this helped, subscribe securely for ongoing support, prioritize taking excellent care of your invaluable health starting today, and I'll look forward very much to catching up with you again in the next vital video.